I was on a great call today and I wanted to share some insights with you. So, this lady was talking about her confusion around spirituality and religion, and is there a God, and what was taught, and what's true. And I said, "Oh, I'm so excited because you're naming the transition that we're having from the old way to the new way." So, on a bigger scale, we are in the age of Aquarius. I know we don't talk about these things. I'm not an astrologist. I don't know. I don't follow any of that, but I have an understanding that there is a 2,000 year shift. We're moving from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. No one's talking about it. No wonder everything's falling apart. The old system, which was power over, which we can identify as the patriarch system, dad's in charge of everything, to the Aquarian system, which is divine feminine. That's how I'm uh, identifying it. So, divine feminine, collaborative, cooperative, um, more listening, more agreements, not because this is my house and I told you so and I'm the one with the bank account. No. So it's going to be like moving from father to mother, traditionally speaking, but it's parenting ourselves and each other from a beautiful way rather than a scary way. And this way is going to empower all people. So there will be voices at the table. All voices at the table count. So specifically, she was talking about her relationship with God. What does that mean? And she said, I'm more spiritual than religious. And I was laughing. I'm like, oh, yeah, like in the dating sites, they say spiritual, not religious. And to that degree, we're looking for connection. So in the old system, there's a priest and someone who knows everything, and then we're like the sinners and all the bad people, and born flawed and scarred. And if you don't aren't slathered with shame and guilt, well, you're not going to make it in this religion. But it's not having somebody else be our moderator to the divine, because when you go on the metaphysical path and the quantum physics path, you realize, oh, whatever's beating my heart and breathing my lungs, it's already inside of me, and there's no line where I'm separate from that creative energy, that life enhancing giving energy. I call it the silence within. So if I don't need a priest or daddy, to tell me what to do and how to be, and like, good girl, okay, you're approved. Now, if I can just be my own consciousness and say, okay, I love myself and I will take care of all my hurt parts and injured and wounded and traumatized and all of that, then that's a more direct communication. And if my ego can access my higher soul, so to speak, which comes to me through intuition, through prayer, through noticing synchronicities, through love, um, feeling beautiful and connected when I'm in nature, those kinds of things are the new God. Like orange is the new black. So like the new God is inside. So Jesus is like the kingdom, is within. So, yeah, if we can identify and take our humility and say, okay, shame and guilt, thanks for the lessons. I'm going to take humility from that so I don't walk around with a big fat head, can't fit through the doorway. I'm going to say, my ego is not in charge. My spirit is in charge. And when I'm humble to my spirit, when I'm listening instead of talking, then I will be guided. So it's just to be quiet within, and that God is not out there. It is not outside of us. There's no line like God's out there and then there's a line and then I'm over here. There's no way we can be separate from that universal consciousness that is always creating and evolving. And the sooner we line into I am a little unit, teeny, tiny little unit of God, because God essence is inside of me, Christ consciousness, that understanding of the oneness. When you go to all the religions and study the higher teachings, oneness, qualities of God are power, intelligence, and love. You can study nature, and you're like, nature, love? Yeah, because there's cooperation. There's the animals and the roots and the wind and the sun. Like everything is cohesive, back to that cooperation and communication and things like that. So we're moving into that oneness. And when we understand that we're one with the universe, that there's the religion part's power over, and we don't really need that anymore. We've evolved through it. Thanks, but we're done. And now we're moving into this oneness and alignment. She also was asking about prayer. She's like, why is my prayer supposed to be answered and other people's, mine's not that big or that important? And who is God and who am I praying to and what's going on? I said, yeah, so that's a collapsing when we start questioning the reality, purpose, meaning, power of an old idea. It means that idea is collapsing and we're evolving from it. So what is the modern version of prayer? We can change the language a little bit and say, well, if I have God quality within me, I am of the creative force. I have the ability to manifest. And I say, well, how do you manifest? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So if I'm sitting here like, I'm kind of hungry, first of all, there's an inspiration, something beyond the mind. Something just came in and was like, oh, you're hungry now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'm like, oh, what shall I eat? What shall I make? Where should I go? And then out of all the possible quantum physics of possibilities, the pure potentiality, I choose peanut butter and jelly. I'm like, okay. And I imagine, oh, there's the butter and then the thing and then the bread. Oh, yeah, I have all of those things that I need in order to satiate my desire, my heart's desire to create that thing. So I have it very clear in my mind. I get a little excited about it. And then I go into the kitchen and I assemble it. I do the work needed. And then all of a sudden, I have this thing in my hand that I created. But it was first created in the thought. So that's manifestation. So she asked prayer. So I explained that piece to her. So when we say, oh, dear God, please, I need this thing, then we can say, okay, I have a desire for this thing. What would that thing feel like when I got it? What kinds of needs is that thing satisfying? Who do I deserve that thing? Right? So all the things around the thing, and then you satisfy. You do some research, you find the resources, and then you say, yeah. Then we own it, just like I'm like peanut butter jelly. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have. Yes. So there's a yes, there's a lock, there's a satisfaction, there's of course I can have this. And we might not know how when we're manifesting something different than what we are capable of. We think, oh, that's beyond my thing. No, that's okay. Because I'm working with the universal consciousness. There's a bigger field than my capacity at this moment. So I'm going to put into the seeds of possibility my heart's desire. Something inside of me is craving this, wanting this. I can create it, opening the door of my belief of possibilities and planting that seed and saying, I don't know how. In metaphysics, we say we're not on the ways and means committee, we're on the what committee. So if I can know it, then that's enough. And I keep moving in that direction. I don't have to have that goal and a timeline and all that. I just keep moving towards that. So just like if you're moving towards a destination, eventually you'll get there. If you stop, if you detour, if you never start, you're not really going to get there. So same idea, very simple concept. So our relationship with our creator is changing, not that the creator is changing, but our reality, our understanding, our connection, our maturity, our evolutionary process. So that's how we can interpret, moving from religion to spiritual. I hope this was helpful. It's very exciting to talk about. Thanks for tuning in.